Hello and welcome. You're watching Tuesday's edition of Newsplus right here on ZTN Prime with me, Wadzanai Sansole. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Let's take a look at our headlines. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has conferred national hero status on the late retired Brigadier General Matthias Tizirai Ngarava. Now, the conferment was announced by Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services Minister Dr. Jenfan Muswere at the National Heroes Home in Chinhoyi. The Zimbabwe National Water Authority has urged communities to avoid crossing flooded rivers and also issued a high alert to communities downstream of Tugwi-Mukosi Dam following incessant rains in Masvingo province. Do stay tuned to Newsplus for a tale of enduring love as two lovers reconnect and tie the knot after breaking up for 14 years. And for your sport, we put the spotlight on the strides made by the Zimbabwe senior women's baseball team this year and look ahead to a promising 2026 season. Thank you once again for joining us this evening. We now give you your stories in greater detail. And we start with the late Brigadier General retired Matthias Tizirai Ngarava, who has been declared a national hero. Now, Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Jenfan Muswere formally delivered the conferment of national hero status from President Mnangagwa today at the Ngarava homestead in Chinhoyi's Mapako Phase 2 suburb.
The late retired Brigadier General Ngarava, whose Liberation War name was Elias Chimurenga, had retired from active service on March 27 last year. He died at the age of 66 and is survived by 2 wives and 5 children. Following his death, a full military funeral parade was held at Charles Gumbo Barracks on Monday in honor of his service to the country. Delivering the national hero status, Dr. Jenfan Muswere said Mashonaland West Provincial Affairs and Devolution Minister Marin Chombo, working with an interministerial team led by the Ministry of Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage, will now take over the proceedings in consultation with the family.
Say, Mr. President, the declaration, retired Brigadier General Ngarava declared national hero na president. Soko ratati tiuye naro tisokuzivisai kuno kuMashonaland West province. Comrade Ngarava wanga ari murwere wesungu after independence wakaseva zvakare muchiuto zvakanaka vakontributa kudevelopment yenyika. Ndiwo masoko atafamba tiuye kuzokutaurirai.
Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Ziyambi, who also accompanied Dr. Muswere, hailed the late Brigadier as a consistent patriot who served his country with loyalty.
Munhu akashandira nyika yake kubva vachiri kuhondo kusvika vachipinda muarmy kusvika vachiritaya. Munhu akaramba ari consistent, havana kumboita gabha. Saka tinoda kutenda kuti vakashandira nyika yavo pavanga vari pano panyika.
The late Brigadier's son Emmanuel expressed gratitude to President Mnangagwa for recognizing his contributions to the country's liberation.
Comrade E.D. Mnangagwa, munotisvitsira ushoko kuna baba Mnangagwa, muchivatise mhuri tatambira shoko ravasvitsa kwatiri, and we are very grateful about that.
During a funeral parade on Monday, Army Commander Lieutenant General Asha Walter Tapfumanei hailed Brigadier General Ngarava as a distinguished and dedicated Army officer.
He left a legacy of excellence in the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. His exceptional loyalty and patriotism towards his beloved country reminds us how lucky we are as a nation to have a generation of officers and commanders of the caliber of the departed Brigadier General.
Due to his exceptional performance and commitment to duty, he was selected to attend the Basic Officers Course in 1982 and was commissioned as a lieutenant. Brigadier General Ngarawa had an illustrious career in Zimbabwe National Army and Zimbabwe Defense Forces at large, undertaking military courses that led him to hold numerous staff and command appointments. For his exploits, he was awarded all military medals commensurate with rank and achievements. Great soldiers are defined by courage, Jude, selflessness, leadership, and patriotism. The late Brigadier General Ngarawa leaves behind a legacy that shall endure. Latwo Nyangu for Zitten Prime in Harare.
And in other news, the Zimbabwe National Water Authority, ZINWA, has issued a high alert to communities downstream of Tugwi-Mukosi Dam in Masvingo Province, following persistent rains in the catchment area that have pushed the reservoir to 99.2% capacity. And in a statement, the authority urged communities to avoid crossing flooded rivers and also secure water abstraction equipment.
Tugwi-Mukosi is one of the major dams now reaching full capacity as a result of persistent rains in the catchment area. This potential spill places communities at risk of flooding, damage to infrastructure, and livelihoods downstream. The Civil Protection Unit says Tugwi-Mukosi is being monitored under the National Multi-Hazard Contingency Plan, which is a framework designed to predict, mitigate, and respond to disasters during the 2025-2026 rainfall season.
But the impact of flooding of Tugwi-Mukosi, we are talking of downstream communities from the dam right up to Mozambique. So our advice for now, once it reaches that stage, I think it is prudent for ZINWA to find a way of opening their floodgates.
Masvingo Province has been advised to implement precautionary measures as controlled water releases may be necessary to reduce the risk of uncontrolled spilling that could endanger downstream communities. The authority also emphasized that all dams around Tugwi-Mukosi must be closely monitored with guided emergency responses by location-specific strategies.
It's not only Tugwi-Mukosi, it's about other dams in that area, because we have also received the rainfall of the same in Masvingo. So all the dams around Tugwi-Mukosi area must also be reported on a daily basis so that we quickly monitor and advise people downstream.
As the country continues to receive heavy rainfall, the Civil Protection Unit is urging members of the public to prioritize safety and remain alert to the risk of flooding. The public is also encouraged to follow official updates and take heed to early warning messages. For ZTN Prime, I am Mashudu Mambo in Harare.
For now, we're still monitoring much of the rainfall that is our radar image currently, where we're still picking pockets of rainfall in isolated places. So it's not covering the entire eastern half of the country, just localized areas where we're expecting significant falls in places, but nothing to worry about, as we are still considering this rainfall to have very minor impacts for much of the period.
Head of Forecasting at the Meteorological Services Department, James Ngoma, says persistent and heavy rains are expected to continue as the 2025-2026 rain season is characterized by above normal rainfall across most parts of the country.
Now, Zimbabwe's real estate sector continues to record strong growth, with developers introducing innovative projects that are gaining international recognition, while authorities move to protect home seekers from rising cases of land fraud. And private property developers are driving new residential developments that move away from traditional cluster housing, introducing a modern design aligned with global best practices. And the project is drawing international recognition and spotlighting Zimbabwe as a growing destination for innovative property development.
That we have been recognized internationally. I will be traveling to the House of Lords in London this month on the 23rd of October to receive a recognition award for excellence in property development. 3 awards we got. So this is not just important for us at Theton Property, but it's important for Zimbabwe. It's important for brand Zimbabwe. People must know and understand, those in the diaspora, those in other parts of the world, that we are developing residential property of a class and quality that is equivalent and equal to anything out there in the rest of the world.
Now, as demand for residential land continues to grow, the Estate Agents Council has expressed concern over increasing cases of bogus land sales, where unsuspecting buyers are defrauded by unregistered operators posing as legitimate developers. And the council has urged prospective property buyers to transact only with registered estate agents and developers, and to verify land ownership and approvals directly with the council before making any payments.
We are having a phenomenal growth in bogus estate agents, which are fleecing people, or who are fleecing people of their hard-earned cash. But as the Estate Agents Council, we are imploring and we are encouraging the members of the public that they should deal with duly registered estate agencies, and if they are in doubt, they can check with the Estate Agents Council on the status of registration of any property or estate agent they would want to engage.
And of course, as Zimbabwe's real estate sector continues to expand rapidly, authorities and developers are stressing the need for innovation to go hand in hand with transparency. Ensuring that property transactions are regulated and secure is key to protecting home seekers and also supporting sustainable long-term growth in the market. Now, the following story is a tale that rings with the echoes of nostalgia and enduring affection. Renowned legal expert and preacher Nyaradzai Maposa, popularly known as Advocate Wabantu, has tied the knot with Leonard Collins Francis, who she reconnected with last year after their breakup 14 years ago. They have said that love, after all, is a journey, not a destination.
Their journey began 14 years ago when they first embarked on a romantic adventure. However, like the tides of time, they drifted apart, each exploring relationships with different partners. Yet fate had a different plan, and last year they found their way back to each other. In the years that followed their initial separation, both Nyaradzai and Leonard ventured into relationships that lacked depth and substance. After rekindling their connection, they embraced a romance that blossomed over the span of 14 months, symbolically mirroring the years that had elapsed since they first became lovers. This past Sunday, they celebrated their union in a beautiful wedding ceremony, sealing their love with vows that evoked both joy and emotions. Their best friend Melody Mfumvuti reflected on the day they met.
These guys met actually 14 years ago, when perhaps they were still trying to find their paths in life, and sometime during the journey, it didn't really, end the way they thought it would. But the story was not yet over, because here we are. We're here today celebrating. They met last year. They met in a very funny place. Someone was leaving a funeral, another person was going home, and they met by the gate.
How Leonard was charmed by Advocate Wabantu remains a captivating story of love.
I am the happiest man south of the Sahara Desert. The happiest man. South of the North Pole, there's no man that is happier than me.
Nyaradzai's elder sisters, Pedisai and Chinga Maposa, expressed their pride for their sister's journey towards this beautiful union.
Well, I think the issue of weddings and Nyari, it was just her time now, because she has wedded so many in our family. And I'm a proud big sister. I'm so happy about what is happening to her. It's a continuation.
Nyarazo is a younger sister to me. She is the last born of 7, and I am number 6 in our family. So we grew up really close together. And I feel like we've done everything together with Nyari, and it feels like it's a closing act because we did this together, So it was lovely and an honor for me to be her maid of honor.
Gospel singer Pastor G, who has known the couple for many years, lauded their enduring bond.
And so I've known him from back in the day. Advocate Nyari, phenomenal person. Met her on at a service station with the Breeze Girls, and they were having a launch. They were launching their first album. And that's how we met Advocate. And Advocate is a resolute person. She's a person with a lot of focus, lot of integrity, but she's a people person as well.
This marriage symbolizes an extraordinary love story, one that has weathered the test of time, bringing the couple back to one another after 14 years. Latu Nyangu, for Certain Prime in Harare.
A heartwarming story indeed. Now, shortly after the break, we'll take a look at Matopos draws record festive crowds.
Festive is here, Shah. First Street lights up, and suddenly the vibe is back. It stretches from Harare to Hollywood, even to Old Trafford. Jesse Gilles Festive. All I want this festive season? The stories that keep us hooked. The ngoma, the rhythm, the laughter, the drama, the goals, the world-class entertainment that brightens up the holidays for the whole family. All I want is DSTV.
Harare, tune into the beat.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, your source for news, business, sports, fashion, and more.
Experience the pulse of Harare's culture and lifestyle.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's top radio station.
Join the conversation with Zimbabwe's top personalities.
Subscribe now for fresh and infotainment content daily.
Capital 100.4 FM, Harare's heartbeat.
Coming to you live from Harare, Newsplus gives you the latest updates. Now at Matopos National Park, the holidays were anything but ordinary as mist, light drizzle and cool weather transformed one of Zimbabwe's most iconic tourist destinations into a festive retreat for families that are seeking peace, nature and togetherness. And as the government seeks to grow domestic tourism, the holidays were a testament to these efforts. Andile Chuma caught up with local tourists at the iconic Matobo Hills, and she gave us the following report.
Matopos National Park came alive with color and laughter as scores of local and international holiday makers chose nature over the city. The festive felt and looked like a storybook, with children playing in the misty drizzle, birds chirping, and nature at its best. Instead of the usual scorching December heat, visitors were welcomed by gentle drizzles and cool breezes that wrapped the granite copies of the UNESCO-listed Matobo Hills in mist and cloud. A long queue of vehicles snagged towards the park's entrance gates, packed with families carrying picnic baskets, cooler boxes, and camping chairs, all geared to spend Christmas Day outdoors. Inside the park, families settled under the trees near water bodies, spreading blankets and sharing meals as fine rain fell softly, adding to the calm and festive atmosphere.
Matopo is a very beautiful place. Today I brought my mothers to come out here. Baboni Zintaba, Babona Matwala. But today, unfortunately, we couldn't climb Amatwala Manzi, but Sikolisile Indao Inhle, Gwenile is beautiful. We're enjoying.
Matopos, renowned for its aesthetically pleasing granite formations, rich biodiversity and wildlife, offers visitors more than just scenery.
Kholisile kakhulu. Khathesi sesizasuka kade ngitshela imuli yami yonke ukuthi sisuke sikhuleke sibonga umusa wenkosi osiqhube sazofika lapha safika sakholisa sabuka intaba zonke lezi lemfula kulamanzi sakholisa kakhulu
kule ngcwaba lika Rose khona intaba lezi zinhle ziyisimangaliso and history enhle ebantwini even ama tourists ngayizobona mbona ngani they enjoy kakhulu intaba lezi ezilapha ezematojeni.
A wonderful event that we are having. I cross over there, I'm actually with my mother, who is that side, and my two young brothers, and from them we have got all this big family. Traveled 2 days ago, specifically to come to this area, all the way from Gaborone, Botswana. So really, guys, when you come back home, you are supposed to visit this area. It is excellent.
For others, Christmas at Matopos has become a cherished tradition, a time to slow down, reconnect, and reflect.
Guys, please, let's pay time to visit our local destinations. Some are within a stone throw away from your home, but you may spend your entire life without having visited.
We came here today to celebrate Christmas and to see the scenery and to see all the history as well.
We're having such a good time despite the weather. So sihambe kuyogada intaba, though it's slippery, so sigcine sesiphenduka, but it was so nice. And you know, ukuphefumula umoya different is so nice, like calming, you know, and we're together as a family. So you know, there's a lot of love, a lot of warmth. Yabo.
The festive crowds at Matopos reflect a broader resurgence in tourism, with Zimbabwe recording strong visitor numbers this year, driven by improved connectivity, infrastructure upgrades, and aggressive destination marketing.
The people around here, they are all locals. Our Zimbabwean people have learned to travel now. They've learned to change the recipe of going to the villages all the time. Now they want to be somewhere else, somewhere new. Long back, we used to travel to relatives. But nowadays we travel anywhere else where there are no relatives, but we know accommodation is there. I can still book my accommodation in a lodge or hotel. This is today, it's modern day.
The Matopo Hills, boasting exceptional biodiversity, holds the highest concentration of black eagles and breeding pairs anywhere in the world. For many visitors, the scenery alone was worth the journey. As laughter echoed across the hills and mist drifted between the ancient granite copies, Matopos National Park once again proved that sometimes the best way to celebrate Christmas is by returning to nature. For ZTN Prime, I'm Andile Chuma in Matopos, Matabeleland South Province.
And coming up in sport, Zimbabwe cricket hails government support. Zimbabwe Cricket has saluted the support from government and other stakeholders ahead of the hosting of the ICC Under-19 Men Cricket World Cup that's set for January in Harare. Now, Zimbabwe is hosting the tournament, which features 16 countries, including powerhouses England, South Africa, Australia, and India under-19 sides. And the tournament will be co-hosted by Zimbabwe and Namibia. ZC Chairman Tavengwa Mkhuhlane expressed his pleasure at the support from the government after a tour of some of the venues by the Minister of Sport, Anselm Sangatwe.
So much as we as the National Sports Association are the hosts for the World Cup, but this is a Zimbabwe event, which for all intents and purposes must be hosted by the government of Zimbabwe. Our parent minister, the Minister of Sport, must be leading the way in terms of coordinating with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Home Affairs, Minister of Tourism. So this is about sport, and it's been amazing. For us to win the bid, we got the guarantees from government. We always get, as usual, the tax rebates from government to bring in equipment. And as I said, you will need police services, you will need services from the Ministry of Tourism, you will need services from all the other government agencies, and it's been great. Like I said, we have test run this with the Tri-Series, which is there. Clearance at the airport, the visas, it has all been smooth. So government has been great in terms of supporting Zimbabwe cricket.
Now, Mkhuhlane also praised development pathways in the country for providing quality players who will form the bedrock of the senior team in the future. Mkhuhlane also praised national selectors for coming up with a final squad that will represent the country in the tournament. And he also urged the team to put up their best show against quality opposition.
I'll start with the selection. Obviously, the under 19, we use it as our yardstick to demonstrate the extent and level of our development in terms of schools cricket and age group cricket. We have kids from as far as Bindura, we've got kids from Victoria, we've got kids from Bulawai, we've got kids from Plumtree. It's a cross-section. That tells you that our schools across the country are now taking up cricket and everyone is being given an opportunity. So good selection and a job well done by the selectors for the under-19. It's not an easy selection, I must say, because there's a lot of interference from the parents at that level. But I think they've done a good job. In terms of our prospects, it's on home turf. We hope that our boys will be able to take advantage of the home conditions and roll past their opponents and wish them well. England being in Zimbabwe in itself is big, given our historical issues. Not only England alone, but Scotland is also here. So we look forward to a great game. There's good rivalry between England and Zimbabwe in terms of cricket. So we're looking forward to a good game between us and England.
And moving on to football now, Highlanders midfielder Mason Mushore has joined South African Betway Premiership side Amazulu for the 2026 season. Mushore was one of the standout performers in an underwhelming season for Highlanders and was once linked with a European move during the season. The transfer is effective from 1 January and the club wished him the best for the future. Now Mushore came through the club's developmental side and became one of the stars in the senior team. He joins fellow Zimbabwean Thando Ngwenya at Amazulu. And now, Chicken Inn has announced the signing of championship winning coach Tonderai Ndiraya on a 3-year deal. Ndiraya, who is the reigning coach of the year, takes over from Joey Antipas and is joined by his longtime assistant. Ndiraya left Scotland after guiding them to the Premiership title. And this was a season after repeating the feat with Simbabora, and he has been tasked with implementing a refined football philosophy as Chicken Inn attempt to turn around their fortunes after a poor season. The 2015 championships survived a relegation scare to finish last season in 12th position. And on to women's baseball now. Zimbabwe's senior ladies baseball team is aiming higher in 2026 after completing a successful season this year. The team hosted the Africa Women's Championship for the first time ever at Dream Park Cali's Sports Club earlier this year, which was initially meant to also feature South Africa, Benin and Uganda. Now, South Africa were crowned the champions, but the Zimbabwe ladies team gained valuable experience from the championship and credited their technical support from their male counterparts.
And during the second quarter, we had a tournament for the final selection of the team. And towards the end of the year, that's when we had our final camp and our games in December. All right, so this was the first time we have hosted baseball, especially for women, and it was exciting and also troublesome for some of us, you know, having people from home being there in the terraces, and that's like a lot of pressure for you. But it was a good experience. Initially, it was supposed to be a 4-nation tournament, having Benin, Uganda, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. And towards December, that's when the other 2 countries pulled out, and then it ended up being South Africa and Zimbabwe only.
Structures?
So in Zimbabwe, what we have, the schools leagues. So from schools, most of the players go to the clubs, but these are men's clubs. So right now they've introduced a system where each and every men's club can include women when they are playing. So every now and then we'll be playing the leagues with the men. So we have good competition because we are now playing with the men, though it might not be as effective as competing as women on our own, but it's helping us to stay fit.
And that's a wrap on Newsplus this evening. My name is Wadzanai Sansole. Have a good night.